Lilith. In true fashion, I love to start at the very beginning. It has a couple different areas where we get the story, but I'll go with the most popular, the Bible. Why is the book of Lilith not in the Bible? That's the question. Answer: the book of Lilith is Apocrypha. What is Apocrypha? Biblical or related writings not forming part of the accepted canon of Scripture. This is from Cambridge.org, and the article, actually it's Cambridge University and Press and Assessment, with an article titled "The Authorized Version of the English Bible 1611, Numbers Are Important, Family." The King James Version of the Bible was first published in 1611. Its literary brilliance is well known, and its words and phrases have had a unique influence on the English language. Now, this is back before there was a letter J, so there is these words like Jesus. Those words aren't in the original Bible. And that original Bible has the Apocrypha in it. But the Bible that we have now is extensively re-edited. This is according to general information. It says, over the course of the 18th century, the authorized version supplanted the Latin Vulgate as the standard version of Scripture for English-speaking scholars. With the development of stereotype printing at the beginning of the 19th century, this version of the Bible became the most widely printed book in history. Almost all such printings presenting the standard text of 1769, extensively re-edited by some dude at Oxford, and nearly always omitting the books of the Apocrypha. This is important. Today, the unqualified title, King James Version, usually indicates that this Oxford standard text is meant. So, to whom it may concern, you say, hey, Crumb, I know you got your tinfoil hat on, so on and so forth, but this is not too far off. Everybody knows the Bible we have is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 9th edition, new different versions. And that original one in 1611, there was no letter J. It included the Apocrypha, so on and so forth. So the Bible we have now does not include the book of Lilith. And for this particular PowerPoint, all of my screenshots are going to be coming out of the book of Lilith, written by Barbara Black, PhD, for source material. 14 different books: the book of Lilith, the book of Jesus, the book of Mary Magdalene, the book of Maccabees, the book of so on and so forth. But yes, 14 different ones, and of course the book of Lilith. So it starts right here. The divine resolution to bestow a companion on Adam met the wishes of man, who had been overcome by a feeling of isolation when the animals came to him in pairs to be named. To banish his loneliness, Lilith was first given to Adam as wife. Like him, she had been created out of the dust of the ground, not from his rib. This is important. But she remained with him only a short time because she insisted upon enjoying full equity with her husband. She derived her rights from their identical origin. Lilith wanted to be on top. And we see these depictions of her. She's in the, I think you could call this the cowgirl position. Is that what you would type on Pornhub?
Yes, sir. I can vouch for that.
Oh man!
If she turns around, it would be a reverse cowgirl.
Reverse cowgirl. Yes, sir.
It wasn't the cow and Kemet too. It was kind of crazy. That goes along with the cow. He said reverse cow, but I'm just adding on. I'm in that zone today. You go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just in that zone. I don't know if it's the retro, but it's like
right.
Go ahead.
So yeah, she wanted to be on top, and she didn't want to submit, but submit means peace. If you look at the word Islam, when people say submit means peace, it's in this particular language. Al-Salam over on the right, which means peace, comes from the root Al-Salim. The root word is Islam, of Islam is Al-Salim, which means submission or surrender. So to submit is just to be in peace, but she didn't want that. And it's understandable because the nature of a woman is chaotic. That's no disrespect to any woman. Shout out to all the mothers, sisters, daughters, aunties, cousins, and all. But Lilith won't submit because she's a chaotic woman. And the reference for this is coming from litcharts.com with an article titled Chaos Analysis and 12 Rules of Life. Question, is chaos masculine or feminine? Answer, feminine. This order / chaos duality is deeply embedded in human culture and perhaps even in our brains. Chaos can be both creative and destructive. As the antithesis of order, chaos is symbolically portrayed as feminine. So we understand when we're dealing with a woman, we're going to be dealing with a chaotic element. And that's no disrespect, because the chaotic element can be creative, like things like art, things like dance, things like freestyle. These are all the creative elements that have a chaotic nature, but there's nothing wrong with it. With the help of the ineffable name, which she pronounced, Lilith flew away from Adam and vanished. Ineffable meaning words that can't or shouldn't be spoken. The name of God should never be pronounced, or maybe it can't be pronounced, whatever the case may be. She said it. I think she's the only person who has ever officially said the name of God. Remember when Jesus told us to pray, he said, "Our Father, whom art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." Hallowed, like Halloween, just simply meaning holy. He never said what his name was. He said his name is holy. Okay, well, that's not telling me a lot, but fair enough. Anyway, so Lilith said that name, grew wings, and flew away. And I want to say much love, shout out to Lauryn Hill. She had a very unfortunate situation that happened. According to the dailybeast.com, in an article titled "How a Racist Smear Campaign Derailed Lauryn Hill's Career." And this is from April 23rd, 2018. This is after she won like 5 or maybe 8 or 10, I can't remember. She won like a bunch of accolades one night off of her album, and then a smear campaign came out, which is totally not true. But it said an apocryphal quote from 1996 in which it was asserted that Hill once said she'd rather her children starve than a certain people buy her product. And this was a Lilith ultimatum in which they gave her this proposition, Lilith, and she said, "I would rather harm come to my children than to submit to Adam." But it was that thing, and they put that on her because I don't know why they did it. Maybe because of her success or whatever the case may be. But it was because I'm sorry, not why it was, but that's what they said, that she would make such a claim. And I remember before, I didn't know what was going on, but I had heard something rumored, and I never believed it ever, but nonetheless, Adam complained before God that the wife he had been given had deserted him, and God sent forth 3 angels to capture her. They found her in the Red Sea, and they sought to make her go back with the threat that unless she went, she would lose 100 of her demon children daily by death, by unaliving.
Damn.
But Lilith preferred this punishment to living with Adam. She takes her revenge by injuring.
What was doing? They were arguing or something. I must have been off the hook. I'm sorry, my brother. Go ahead.
Absolutely. She takes her revenge by injuring baby boys during the first night of their life, while baby girls are exposed to her wicked designs until they are 20 days old. The only way to ward off the evil is to attach an amulet bearing the names of 3 angel captors to the children, for such had been the agreement between them. And the names are Sonoy, San Sonoy, and Simgalaf. And this is going to be important. Right. This is going to be important later. But this meme right here, I thought it was really powerful. Created by God to live in Eden paradise, chooses Lucifer and hell instead. She was a real defiant firecracker. There's a polarity between Eve and Lilith. Dealing with Eve was submissive. Eve did what Adam said. Eve stuck it out with him even when she had to leave. Lilith did not stick with him. Lilith didn't want to be. She didn't get kicked out. She left on her own accord. They told her to come back. She was like, "Nah, I'm good." And that's the polarity between them right now. And there's also a duality in which they are very common, but I'll get into that later. That polarity you saw with Lilith and Eve is the same polarity you saw with Virgin Mary and Mary Magdalene. How Eve is submissive. Eve doesn't know what Lilith knows. Is the same thing with Virgin Mary, who is submissive. She's pure. She followed the right path concerning a man, whatever the case may be. And Mary Magdalene, now remember, nobody had last names. Her last name is not Magdalene. Magdalene is a city, no different than Jesus of Nazareth. Nazareth is a city. So Magdalene.
Hold on, let me give you some props. Turn it up a little bit. Killing it. Yeah. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So Magdalene was the equivalent of Vegas. What happens in Magdalene stays in Magdalene. So when they say Mary Magdalene, that was like you for the streets if you got that on your last name.
Wow.
That's like being called Joe Vegas.
Yeah.
Teach.
Hey.
So they was opposite. So Jesus had a good girl and a bad girl.
Come on.
I mean, that sounds good. That,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You put no, it's adding up. It's adding up. It's adding up. We cooking now. I mean, you got
which makes a lot of sense.
They call it the fish eyes when the pot is beginning to boil. It's starting to boil.
You know what's crazy though?
Yeah.
No matter how bad she was though, when Jesus was being persecuted, she was still there.
Right.
Come on. That's right.
Yeah. Shout out to Mary for Magdalene.
Yeah.
Come on.
Show you how she stick around.
Stuck around.
Go ahead. Let's go.
This little meme, I found it to be very interesting. It said, Virgin Mary in the streets. You want her to be a good girl. Mary Magdalene in the sheets. I thought that was pretty clever because Mary Magdalene was a...
That's fire. Girl. That's a line right there.
Right.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
In addition to that, Jesus allegedly had an affair with Mary in the incident with the woman by the well, where he is considered the first Captain Sava H304. Mary Magdalene was for the streets. The woman by the well was for the streets. When you lay with dog, you get fleas, Jesus. But yeah.
That's when they were stoning her, wasn't they?
Right.
Yeah. You without sin.
Yeah.
That was that.
Come on.
Right. Let cast the first stone.
Yeah. That was like a holiday. That was the date. Yeah. He came out and said that. Ye without sin. Cast the first stone. That's almost like the dream speech.
Yeah.
I have a dream. But back then, they was like, yo, you heard about that? You without sin?
Right.
They was probably passing through there. You without sin day. Go ahead.
I think if you look
Gotcha,
deep
first
into it,
Yeah.
the woman by the well, her name was actually Tatiana, or maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
But
She busted down.
yeah,
Wow, that holy over there.
Bust down.
right.
Bust
Let's
down,
go.
Mary. Bust it down, Mary.
Man.
You know they
For
were
100
busting. Oh, wow. Come on, let's go.
For 130 years, Adam would not lie with his wife, Eve.
Oh, he
Lilith
tripping.
came to him instead and bore all manner of demons by his seed. Now, this is right after the Cain and Abel thing had took place. He was going through it, and he was having troubles with his relationship with Eve. And for that period of time, he was laying with Lilith. Now, in the comics, Lilith was a Cyrene and a Draconian. I'm going to explain that a little bit later, but I'll just read this little thing real quick. Upon a remote glacier, a mishapen Cyrene sings a eerie song. Lilith, legendary mother of all things, evil and dark, sings a song for her children. I'm going to confirm that she's the mother of all bad things, or whatever the case may be. For months, Lilith has had only the scattered remains of those Lilin stripped of all flesh for company, because they were killed because God sent his henchmen, those 3 angels. They said, if you don't come back, we're going to kill 100 of your children, and those are her offspring. That is all about to change. As you can see, she's pregnant.
Let's see that.
Later rabbinical sources identify her as the first wife of Adam, cast from the garden because she would not submit completely to his rule. Here again, she fled into the wilderness, where many traditions say she became the mother of demons after coupling with fallen angels like Lucifer and Samael. So after Lilith left Adam, she clicked up with Samuel, and Adam got with Eve.
Slow that part. Just say that part again.
So first, Lilith was with Adam. They got a little official quickie divorce, Vegas style. Got married and divorced the next day.
Right.
And she goes and leaves and gets with Samuel.
Right, got you. The L.
And Adam go and get with Eve, and Eve is made from his rib. She's not made from dirt like Lilith or Adam.
You think he has some dirt on her? I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. He don't miss. So I wanted to make this distinction real quick. When you're dealing with Adam, you have 2 Adams, because there's a couple of creation stories in Genesis. Now, with Adam in chapter 1, that's Adam Cadman, or Adam Soul Man. And Adam in chapter 2, that's Adam Spirit Man. So Lilith, according to the Enuma Elish, I'll show you that later, she never turned into physical form. She was only dealing with Spirit Man. And Eve was dealing with, she was only dealing with Soul Man, and Eve was dealing with Spirit Man. So here it goes. Lilith didn't refuse Adam Cadman. She refused to be made of atoms, encasing her light body into a prism or a prison. Those who come on,
teach.
Yeah. Come on, y'all. Yeah, we got. It's all starting to add up. It's all gonna add up.
Yeah.
So add them up.
No pun intended. Yeah.
That's right.
Let's go.
Those who did were referred to as fallen angels. She revolted against becoming trapped in the physical and was the last to resist the demiurge. So this is all in Genesis chapter 1. And right here at the very bottom, it says Adam Cadman, the soul of Adam. In chapter 1, that Adam is soul man. He doesn't have a physical body yet. He was the supreme essence of mankind. It contained within it all subsequent souls. So I just want to make that distinction. In some stories, she doesn't rebel against him. She rebels against going into the physical. I digress. Question: what is the male version of a succubus? And that's what KP asked towards the beginning of the show. Answer: an incubus is a Lilith or a demon in male form who, according to mythological and legendary traditions, lies upon sleeping women in order to engage in sexual activity with them. Its female counterpart is a succubus. Lilith in Egypt.
Oh, eating up.
Now, the family's going to say Lilith is a demon. That's fine, no problem. I don't have a problem with that. But the question is, what is a demon? Follow me. This is the etymology. The etymology is the origin of a word. The saying goes, definitions change, origins don't. We have to deal with the origins and nothing less. So now, and the origin is called the etymology. So this is Etymology Online Dictionary. The word is demon, and the definition of the origin is daemon, meaning spirit, simple, not good or bad, just spirit. From Greek, daemon, or a deity, even a divine power, lesser god. This isn't an official god. This is like an angel. This is lower caste. Guiding spirit, that's important. Tutelary deity, that's important as well. So now, I want to say this before I get off this slide. Daemon, whether it's D-A-E-M-O-N or D-A-I-M-O-N, it has the word Amun in there. Amun is the hidden one. Y'all can't get rid of Amun. So now, tutelary, also tutelar, is a deity or spirit who is a guardian, patron, or protector of a particular place, geographic feature, person, lineage, nation, culture, or occupation. You know, Thor, the god of welding and blacksmithing, the god of wheat and agriculture. I think Virgo is the god of wheat. You know, the god of this and the god of that, so on and so forth. These are tutelary deities, and certain cities would have their own particular god. I don't know if the family knows this, but they tried to give Detroit the god Baphomet. They put that Baphomet statue up in Detroit as a tutelary spirit over the city of Detroit. Y'all better tap in.
That. Y'all remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be the first church they had that ever in America, wasn't it?
Correct.
Demon Troy?
Yeah.
They turned it into Demon Troy.
Yeah.
Let's go. I follow. I'm locked in.
Yeah, that joint was crazy.
You opening up some doors right now.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Right. One type of tutelary deity is the genius, the personal deity or daemon of an individual from birth to death. So now when you're dealing with a genie, genies grant wishes, or a genius can answer any question. Another demon, which is a tutelary deity or spirit, is going to be from Dragon Ball Z. When you get all 7 Dragon Balls, you will summon the genie who will grant any wish, or you will summon the genius who will answer any question. Y'all better tap in.
Hey, man.
Teach. Loading up.
That's right.
Damn.
because we're going to go over Lilith being a demon, we just got to go into the words to understand what a demon is.
Spirit.
So now,
Spirit.
when we look at the demon, oh, my joint tweaking. When we look at the demon, the last two letters on the word demon is on, and this is super important. Now, I got to walk you through it, so just follow me just a quick second. The Old Testament is Hebrew, check.
Mm-hmm.
What is in the Old Testament? That's the question. Answer. The Old Testament is the first part of the Christian Bibles based primarily upon Hebrew Bible, or the Tanakh, a collection of ancient religious writings by the Israelites believed by most Christians and religious Jews to be a sacred word of God. Fine, no problem. Now, we know it's written in Hebrew. We just established that. The Old Testament at the very least. Hebrew Bible, Old Testament. The Hebrew form appears in Latin letters in standard Hebrew transcription as L, or in Tiberian Hebrew transcriptions as El or Il. El is a generic word for God that can be used for any God. Number one, God's name, El Shaddai, or Lord God Almighty, according to Genesis 17:1, or El Elyon, God Most High, Genesis 14:18. El being a deity. Why is this important? And what does it have to do with the whole demon thing? Glad you asked. So anything on the back of their names that has El lets you know that they are the children of El. Daniel, Ezekiel, Gabriel, Emmanuel, Bethel, Israel, Michael, Jezebel, Samuel, this Christmas, Noel. So just like you have the children of El, you also have the children of On. Lilith is one of the children of On. Demon, Babylon, Simon, Solomon,
Damon,
Damian. We're gonna have to tap all the way in. So we know who the god El is because we talk about him all the time, but we don't know who the god On is. And I will go over him real quick if you don't mind.
No, we don't.
So this is Easton's Bible Dictionary. On, simply meaning light. The next word, the sun, according to Genesis 41:45 and Genesis 41:50. The great seat of sun worship called also something else and something else, stood on the east bank of the Nile, a few miles north of Memphis and near Cairo in the northeast. The Vulgate and the 50s and the 70, the Septuagint versions have Heliopolis, the city of the sun, instead of On. So Heliopolis and On, which is Heliopolis is the Greek, On is the Meta-Nature. Hebrew, excuse me. In Genesis and of Avon and Ezekiel, the city of destruction, and according to Isaiah, I got some other stuff. I'm not going to go through all of that. Let me skip down to that last sentence at the bottom. It was at On that Joseph wooed and won the dark-skinned Ashanith. I didn't write that. This is coming from Easton's Bible Dictionary. They said, Joseph, this is from the 12 tribes of Israel. Israel is really Yaqub. I'm not going to go there, but the 12 tribes of Israel.
Teach it now. Teach it now, yo. We teach it now.
The 12 tribes of
now. Going deep into the lessons now.
Let's go.
The 12 tribes of Israel, their youngest brother could read dreams, and his older brothers threw him in a pit. He became a dream interpreter for the king, and a lot of good stuff happened, blah, blah, blah. So after he does all his good work, he has to go get a wife. And this is where I was reading from. According to Easton's Bible Dictionary, they said all the things that happened in the city of On, Joseph, the dream reader, he goes and gets a dark-skinned Ashanith, the daughter of the high priest of its great temple. And when we're dealing with On, this is a this was a noted university town because back then the church was the school. That's why the best schools to go to are Catholic schools.
Cook. I got some beans I want to put in there. Cooking.
He said Israel was Yaku. Tell him that, man. You dropping two tools, man. That bring you back to modern day times, don't it?
Come on.
Killing
This was a noted university town, and here Moses gained his acquaintance with all the wisdom of the Egyptians. It was said that Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. Moses went to On. When Socrates spoke to the oracle and said, "Who's the smartest man in the city?" She said, "If you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong room, and Greece is the wrong room." And he had to go to the city of On. Everybody goes to the city of On. This would be the equivalent of Massachusetts, where you have the most prestigious learning institutions like Yale and Harvard. I believe those are in Massachusetts. Keep me honest. I digress.
Harvard's in DC, I think. But yeah, I think you're on point where you go. Yale.
Yeah, I would say up there in the Bay Area, over there by what's the tech? All of that tech, Berkeley, you know. No, I'm saying that they have some great minds over there too. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
In the Bay Area. Cooking.
A tutelary is a deity or a spirit who is a guardian, patron, protector of a particular place, geographic feature, person, lineage, nation, culture, or occupation. I just want to pull that up because Lilith is a matron god, not a patron, but a matron god of the city of On. That's why she's a demon. So I just want to put that out there. So when we say this or that is a demon, just understand I don't want the spookism to be there. So now, a Shanif, because we know she's dark-skinned, this is coming from Wikipedia, Petithera. Petithera was a priest of the ancient Egyptian town of On, mentioned in Genesis 41:45 and 41:50. He was the father of a Shanif, who was given to Joseph as his wife by Pharaoh, and who bore Joseph two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. His name means he whom Ra has given. And the bottom one says, question, who is a Shanif in the Bible? Answer, the daughter of Potipharah, a high priest of Heliopolis, which is On. She bore Joseph two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, who became the patriarchs of the Israelite tribes of Manasseh and Ephraim. So now, when you look at this card right here, I think this is Magic the Gathering. It says Petithera, priest of On. So these are the followers. It says Egyptian evil characters are immune to capture. I don't want to read that part. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name, and he gave him a wife, a Shanif, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. That's Genesis 41:45. Now, I'm going to go on why Lilith is black and from this point on, but I still want to stick with Petithera. So DreamWorks, I think DreamWorks was under Disney. Is it? Or is it? I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
Think
so now DreamWorks under Disney came out with the movie Joseph, King of Dreams, because the Pharaoh had a dream about 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows, and they had to save the grain for 7 years of famine, and Joseph interpreted the dream and saved everybody happily ever after. But anyway, yeah. So in this picture, you can see Potipharah right behind him. He looked a little bit light-skinned. I'm not sure, but he's supposed to be dark-skinned for real. And a Shanif looked light-skinned as well. But a Shanif right here, she's definitely dark-skinned. And a lot of the people within the movie are definitely dark-skinned. These are dark-skinned people. And that's why the source material from Easton's Bible Dictionary said dark-skinned Ashanith because Ashanith was from that city that Lilith is from, and that's what the people from that city look like. In addition to that, if you look at this picture, it says Ashanith, you get a better idea of, now, of course, I didn't draw this. I didn't, but that's what she looks like. And inside of her name, you're going to see the word Ashe, which is a Yoruba word meaning power, command, and authority. It is the ability to make what you say happen, meaning so it is, or so it will be, so it will certainly be. Now, you'd be like, okay, well, she's Egyptian and that's Yoruba. Is there a connection? Because they got the same name, so it looks like it. I would say yes. According to AfricanJournalsOnline.info, in an article titled Revisiting the Yoruba Ethnogenesis, it reads, a sizable number of these accounts usually explore the historical evidence from ancient Egypt. Although such historical traditions differ from one school to another, some modern historians of Yoruba descent insist that the Yoruba originated from Egypt. So this city that old girl Lilith is from, this is where these people are from, and these people look like this. So Lilith, respectfully, is a black girl. And going back to my source material, the book of Lilith, in the chapter Lilith and Adam, it reads, rarely Lilith's thoughts upon Adam have been recorded. He was dark of skin and hair. That's what they said. And this was a European woman who wrote this, respectively. It doesn't matter who wrote it, obviously, but it's just the fact that this is not coming from Black Power Revolutionary tinfoilhat.com.
You snuck that in there. That was funny. That was funny as hell.
Black o'clock. It's black o'clock.
Right.
Black tea.
Right.
I'm black. Yo. I'm blackity black.
That's real.
Black paper towels. We need black napkins. We need black napkins. Oh, black napkins for black understanding, for black listening. All right, black tea. Go ahead. Let's
get
question.
Let's get black to the subject.
Yeah, black to the subject.
Talk black to me.
Yeah.
Black to me.
Listen.
What is the meaning of Lila? Lila is a variant of the female given name Leela, derived from the Semitic word for night. This is very important. I'm gonna come back to this. Over time, it has come to mean dark beauty or dark-haired beauty. In Spanish, Lila is the word for the color lilac. In German, it means purple. Now, back in the day, they had, I think this company is still out there, but a lot of people gone natural, so it's not as big as it used to be, Dark and Lovely.
Dark and Lovely.
And their thing was purple, too.
Dark and Lovely. We got any commercials on that one? Back in the days, Dark and Lovely commercial.
Now,
I love the Afro sheen, too.
I remember, I think Dark and Lovely, keep me honest, Podcraft, I think Dark and Lovely came out with Just For Me, the one for little girls to get the perm. And that commercial, like, just for me. I remember that one.
Just for me.
It was a brand under Dark and Lovely. That's what you're saying?
I believe so. Keep me honest, though.
It probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like stocking caps before durags.
Come on. Teach.
They started using stocking caps for other things.
Ski mask.
Yeah, exactly. The ski mask kind of knocked that out the box. You had one stocking cap with the hole in it.
Nah,
that's
the
not
Homeboy Shopping Network joint. Remember the Homeboy Shopping?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. We keeping you honest. That's you're on point. You're on point.
Okay,
let's go. Soul Glow. Somebody said Soul Glow. Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Teach.
It said black. It did black, man. Yeah, crazy. All right. Purple is just right. Yeah. Just For Me was famous. That's right. Demetrius.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lila is purple, and Lila is coming from Lilith. And there was a picture I found of Lilith depicted as purple.
You know, he was doing that back in the days, probably when they still on that rock like that. Like a hand, chest.
And you know what's crazy that just hit my mind? In the movie, the Ten Commandments, the old movie, right? You remember the dude that was the stone cutter on the old Ten Commandments? The girl that used to come fetching water, her name was Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to call you Lily. And she came and brought him, she was the one that brought him water.
Yes.
But she the one that ran to Moses when Moses' mom was stuck up under the stone.
Yeah. Yep, Lily. Yeah.
Lily, yeah.
Lily of the Valley. Yep. Yeah. I think Lilith, it's hit me. Something about that, but you continue. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm going to watch that tonight.
Yeah.
So Lilith is depicted as purple. And how do we know this? Because we recognize her by her hair, her wings, and of course her bird feet. Now, I did a video with my brother called Original Black Vampires, and this person commented this right here. Let me delete this to focus your attention. It says, when Juju mentions necromancy and negromancy, I wanted to share with those who may not know, but in the Greek alphabet, the letters G, C, and K are interchangeable, and it doesn't change the meaning of the word. So necro, and negro all mean the same thing. That's food for thought. So then the brother I did the video with, his name is Dejuma.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
You got the plates cooking tonight. Oh, we in a buffet. Yeah, food for thought. Good.
So Dejuma says, facts. Just like with the word Dracon, and dragon, same thing. These are the necro, 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 Nekro, Draco, Draco, and Draco, Drako, and then dragon, Drag. There's that G and it's interchangeable. Draco and dragon, we know those are the same, but necro and negro. But we should have known this because Muhammad Ali, I'm sorry, I'm going to say Muhammad Ali.
He named
Malcolm X, excuse me, please.
Yeah.
Malcolm X had pointed that out to us, and it was in a, I think this was at Yale. He was somewhere in Boston. I think Muhammad, I keep saying Muhammad Ali. I don't know why I keep saying that. Please forgive me.
Well, Malcolm X named Muhammad Ali. That's deep.
Okay. Tap in.
Tap.
So Malcolm X had already told us with the necro, and negro, with that K, C, and the G all being interchangeable. Now, why is that important? Because the city that was in Egypt was called Necropolis. Well, if the C, the K, and the G are all interchangeable, Necropolis is really Negropolis.
Yeah, a lot of Negroes in the city. That's cool.
This is the city that old girl was from, Lilith. She's from Necro. Fine, don't get me wrong. I'd like much respect to the Moors. Black means dead.
He said much respect to the Moors.
Fine. I'm not going against anybody. I'm just saying that when Malcolm X pointed it out, he was all wise, right, and exact, because up here he has necro equals corpse, meaning a dead body. And they tell you the necro or the negro is black, and black means death according to Moorish science. And I just want to point that out because these books that associate with Lilith and black magic and the knowing of information, like the Necronomicon, is really the Negronomicon.
Negronomicon.
That
You know, that joint remind me of the Chronicles of Riddick. The people that came down from outer space was called necromongers.
T.
Yes, we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Here we
That could
go.
trip me out, though. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, damn, it was called necromongers, the people that came from outer space. Yeah. And it's crazy
That's
because
all.
Riddick is a skinhead, and he's the only one that could beat the necromongers.
Wow. In the movie, I gotta see this.
Yeah, in the movie, of the Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah.
Doors are now
It's all
being
added
opened.
up.
Yeah, it's adding up. Told you. We're in full ball moment right now, right?
Yeah, I'm still just tripping off when he said that Israel and
Jacob.
Yaakov. Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob is
That was
Crumb goes in. You only
Yeah.
get pieces of it, you know, it's like crumbs.
right. It all up,
That's
take
how
down
you
a
catch the
loaf.
birds. You gotta catch the birds coming in.
Hold on.
Gotta leave a crumb trail.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's go, Crumb.
So now you have the satanic magic, Leviathan, Lilith, and Samuel. There's go Lilith and Samuel again in the middle. But that particularly says Lilith. Because when she went with him, they were doing types of bad stuff as well, doing the nasty. I'm not being funny.
Who, Lilith and who?
Samuel.
Samuel.
Yeah, this is after she broke up
See, I
with
want my
Adam
woman with
Cadman.
wings.
Oh.
They
Come
give
on.
us wings now,
Hell,
though.
man, Yo, did you see it?
Yeah.
Man, she got wings, man. Like,
Yeah.
straight up and down, she got wings.
That's right.
Now they be like that in those Brazilian,
Oh yeah.
right? Those Brazilian parades. They be having
Oh,
wings.
you be having wings?
Yeah,
Sure.
and in
Carnival,
yeah.
Carnival.
Yeah, in the carnival.
Yeah. Shout out to Brazil. Let me walk around with wings, yo. Helmets and all that. Woman. That's Doja Cat.
You know Doja Cat?
Yeah.
She's going, oh my.
Yeah. No, she says woman.
I know what she said.
So,
Oh, my.
yeah, it sounds like she's saying Oma. Or maybe, Necro.
I never noticed though that demon had the word Aman in it.
Yeah, I ain't know that. Yeah. Fire. Man.
That's right.
No,
Demon
my
and-
son's his name Amen.
Mm-hmm. Fire.
Crazy.
On point. Woo!
Aman.
I'm gonna let that
So,
stir a
yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
That Necronomicon, that was written by H.P. Lovecraft.
Lovecraft.
The only reason I mention it is because they came out with a TV show a while back called Lovecraft Country or something to that effect. With this one, he's like the newest actor, whatever. But it had a lot of weird necro dark stuff in there with that Lilith energy. But yeah, that stuff is really Negro. But nonetheless, so let's continue on.
And Trinidad, my bag. We gotta give Trinidad too. Trinidad parades.
Oh yeah,
They be
yeah.
coming in there.
Carnival.
Carnivals. That's right.
That's yeah.
Don't be carnival. Let's try to think of something. They got the Val. Carnival. Yeah, go ahead, man. I love it.
Lilith, the Draconian. So the Enuma Elish, I told you I would bring my source material. So the first source material was from the Book of Lilith. That was more of a Judaic background going into their story. But the Enuma Elish is less Christian, more paganism, I guess you could say. So Enuma, right. Enuma Elish is the Babylonian creation myth. It was discovered by an English archaeologist in 1849 in fragmentary form in the ruined library. They found it in very bad condition. But to say the least, in the beginning, in terms of not the Bible with the whole Yahweh thing, this is the Enuma Elish. In the beginning, there was Tiamat. Oh, well, that's not in the Bible. I know. This is the Enuma Elish. This is on par with the Old Testament. So Tiamat, and you can see right here it says Dragon Queen. I didn't write that. That's what they call her. She's the Dragon Queen. This is very important because if you look to the opposite,
Queen.
Mm.
You know what I mean? What was that, Billy Ocean?
Right.
He said Caribbean Queen. Her name was the Dragon Queen.
Right.
Let's go.
Really? Okay. I'm gonna tap in.
Tap in. Yeah. Let's go.
So 4 generations under Tiamat is Lilith, the beautiful queen consort of the gods. So she's a queen because she comes from royalty, a royal bloodline of the official top god, which is her grandmother times 4, none other than Tiamat. So if you look, Lilith is Ishtar. Let's just be frank about that. Tiamat is her ancestor. We recognize them by their hair. Her horns are her crown. The wings and the feathers like an owl, and the feet, both Ishtar slash Lilith, which are the same character, both Lilith slash Ishtar look exactly like their great grandmama, the Dragon Queen Tiamat. You still got some of your ancestors' features. And just to confirm this,
Cheers.
Teach Muhammad.
Let's go.
So now you have the satanic magic book that I was talking about earlier that lists Leviathan, Lilith, and Samuel. Now, this is the Jewish Encyclopedia. This is not blackpower.com tinfoil hat, on Facebook page. But no, seriously. So according to that article called Leviathan and Behemoth, if we just skip the biblical data and go down to the highlighted section at the bottom, it says the Behemoth and Leviathan were the 2 primeval monsters corresponding to Tiamat. This is the Jewish encyclopedia. When you say Leviathan, you're saying Tiamat. Tomato. Leviathan is Tiamat. And Tiamat has a son.
Right there. I can't do this one. I'm sorry. Pardon me, my brother.
Tiamat has a son, and her son name is Kingu. And Kingu means serpent because these are reptilians. Let's be frank about this. You've got dragon. Okay, they're reptilian draconians because this section is Lilith the draconian. So these are, because it says she was a dragon. So these are draconians, reptilians, Anunnaki, tomato. Anyway, so yeah. With that said, it says right here, Tiamat, her son, his name is Kingu, in Aramaic, that is serpent. Moving on. Because right here under Tiamat, it says abyss. If you look up the word abyss along with Lilith, it's going to give you Abzu is identified with Lilith. Abzu, she is identified with Lilith in Coptic Egypt with a list of other gods who I'm going to go over later. We'll come back to this list of different demons. So there is a reptilian duality between Eve and Lilith. There's a reptilian because we already have this dragon thing going with Lilith. Let's see, because they were both with Adam. They both Adam is both their baby daddies.
Hey.
So I don't got no type. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No, Adam has a type. So Adam has a thing for reptilian women. We already know Lilith is reptilian.
Man, this
Nah, you can't.
everything just adding up today. We started off talking about. Go ahead.
Nah, he like that. That's what he like.
Right.
The way she moved.
You know, we normally call it play the field. He had to play the garden.
Right.
Teach.
Come
That's
on.
right. So Adam clearly has a type. So we see that Lilith is draconian. So let's see if we can connect Eve, his other baby mama, with anything reptilian. So if you look at the Wikipedia page for Eve, the question, does Eve mean snake? Answer. Later, after the story of the garden is complete, she will be given a name, Hawa, meaning Eve. This means living in Hebrew from a root. We're dealing with etymology. Definitions change, origins don't. Root that can also mean snake. I don't got no time. So, also, according to wordsmith.com, in an article titled Symbolic Meanings from Genesis by Justin Taylor, it reads, Eve is translated from the Hebrew Shavo for life giver. And my Hebrew is just is horrible. Bear with me.
Some say they used to do a snake dance. I know. So you got a snake. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Snake went. No, it was.
Eve is translated from Hebrew as in mother of all living. Its root, chaya, means serpent in Aramaic.
Wow. Let me give you a ball.
Eve and serpent are taken to be synonymous. So Adam has a type. He like his girls reptilian. It is what it is.
Yeah, not what he like.
Yeah. I like what I like.
Yeah, he like what he
I
likes.
mean, some of us like our girls a little ratchet.
Right.
Hey, what you do, on your time is all you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
To a
was like,
degree.
I'm going that way.
Yeah.
Samson was in the whorehouse. It's like, huh? That's what I heard. You know what I mean? He was like, give me that girl. He said Delilah was bad, man. It don't matter. I think they said they tried to give him one. He said, no, Delilah. Have you seen Delilah?
Yeah.
No, Samson and Delilah. Yeah, it is Delilah. Yeah. Sorry, Delilah. This is not about you, Delilah. This is about Eve. Let's go.
Hey, must be the tongue.
Lilith.
Anyway. We good.
Can't knock who you like. For real. The cheetahs in the wild. Let's go.
That's right.
So this is, again, the Jewish encyclopedia as the source material. And the first blurb is in rabbinical literature from the rabbi. According to the Midrash, the Leviathan was created on the 5th day. Originally, God produced a male and female Leviathan, but lest in multiplying the species should destroy the world, he slew the female, reserving her flesh for the banquet that will be given to the righteous on the advent of the Messiah. This was the first communion. What they used for breaking bread and drinking the flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. They first did that with the Leviathan after God killed the female Leviathan. Now, remember, the Leviathan is Godzilla. Godzilla is a Leviathan. Yeah, this is all wise, right, and exact. But my second source material is
1 second. That we never really did. Like what is Leviathan? It just came out of nowhere. It has to be something else to it. It just was introduced to us. So yeah, I can see there's more stories. There's more to it. Somebody just tell you Leviathan popped up, and it's like, okay, you just know it's the 666 demon. Y'all had the book back in the days, Leviathan 666, the book. And then you have different type. But where are these stories coming from? It has to be more to it. Was they broken up? So I can see what you're saying. It's like there's a second Leviathan. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. It's just I'm intrigued by it. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. You know, if you look at Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, God takes credit for the stuff that he did. God said he created the earth and he created the lights, but he didn't say he created the water. The water was already here. That was primordial water that when he hovered over the face of the deep.
Oh, man.
When he hovered over the face of the deep, that was the abyss. And in the abyss, this is according to the Jewish encyclopedia, in the abyss is where the Leviathan resides. Remember, we come from out the water. We're not from the freaking land. We're from the water.
Shout out to Mojito. Sorry, my brother. We have to give him props. If you don't give him, well, if you don't say his name.
Just bring it.
Mojito's like candy. You met Mojito when you was here. Sorry, cut your wisdom, my brother.
Oh no, you're good. Absolutely.
Continue.
So yeah, both Leviathan. This is the apocryphal literature. It says both Leviathan and Behemoth are prominent in Jewish eschatology. In the book of Enoch, Enoch says the secret chambers of Leviathan, which Elihu, somebody, will disclose on the day. Oh, I'm sorry. This is what I wanted to read. This other stuff, I don't know why I highlighted. Please forgive me. Quote, on that day, the day of judgment, two monsters will be produced, a female monster named Leviathan, to dwell in the depths of the ocean over the fountains of the waters. But the male is called Behemoth, who occupies with his breast a waste wilderness named Dindane. So on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, with that said, this is the draconian lineage of Lilith. Her family is very much draconian reptilian. But she's also a vampire, but I want to breathe in case anybody wants to say anything.
I'm sorry, my brother.
You said she's also a vampire?
Yes, sir.
Man.
Suck blood. Taking souls.
That girl's all right with me. Hey.
She's a vampire.
Yeah. Rick James would have loved her.
Man.
For real.
Yeah.
He liked them type of girls.
So you saying that she's basically like, it's crazy. Now putting it all together, she's like the girl in the Queen of the Damned.
Oh, my favorite movie.
Tap all the way in.
Come on. Aaliyah was, oh my gosh,
Aaliyah,
so beautiful in that movie.
Lily.
I love
man,
Aaliyah?
that's tripping me out.
Man,
Aaliyah, Lily.
It's all adding up.
Gosh.
that's crazy.
And in that
We
movie,
are
she
getting
was
mined. We getting minded. This is some
Yeah, I love that movie too, man.
Yeah,
That
that's my
movie was
favorite.
So dope.
Yeah,
Man.
Queen of the Damned.
And Queen of the Damned is like
She killed that.
she killed that, man. It just in that movie, it shows you how that there is different levels of humans, different levels of beings walking in human form. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. They had her in the tomb, yo. She
Yeah.
came out. She was beautiful. Beautiful in that movie, boy.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Shout out to the late, great Aaliyah.
Yeah, that's
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned.
There was
And that's what Lily is. She's what? Queen of the Damned?
Queen of the Damned.
That.
What's her name? Ting? It's a female. It's a singer. I think her name is. It's not Tim. It's Ting, right?
Yeah, right here.
She redid a video of the song. It was incredible.
Damn!
You can continue, my brother.
ModernNotion.com published an article titled "Lilith, the Mother of All Vampires." Literally.
Man.
Done. Hold on.
And-
Give him a big bomb, AD. Not my little small bombs. They got the
Literally.
real. AD got the real.
No, the napalm. Napalm, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you saying it's a black woman that was a vampire like a daywalker.
Ooh, tap all the way in.
Daywalker.
So
Which
I wanted to
which
go.
gave-
Oh, please.
like which the one that you remember Blade's mom was a black woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Blade. That's correct.
Yeah. Wow.
The Oracle.
Daywalker. Yeah.
Right.
Going back to the book of Lilith. For 130 years, Adam would not lie with his wife Eve. Lilith came to him instead and bore all manners of demons by his seed. Let me just put that in plain English. Adam is the father of demons. Adam didn't just have no babies just by Eve. He had a side chick.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's me just being goofy.
I got
But no, you get it.
I got Adam, man.
So now,
I'm sorry, I was looking
Lilith.
for that video of that I forgot her name. She was I'm sorry to cut the wisdom. It was ASAP Rocky was with her. She's from London. Ting was it? I'll make you sweat. I love that video. She
On the
redid it.
new one?
Yeah, no, it's kind of old now, but it was a remake. She kind of did the Queen of the Dam over.
That movie is dope, man.
I can't remember it. I was looking for it, but I'm sorry, my brother. You going in? Finish, man. I mean, we got our plates now. It's
Right.
we're in totally ball mode. We agree. We all got our plates and we ready to eat. But
Question: Is Lilith real in True Blood? Answer: according to TrueBlood.wiki, in an article titled "Lilith, True Blood Wiki Fandom Powered by Wikia," it reads, "God made me as a vampire and Adam and Eve as human. But there is no God but God," according to Lilith. Talking to Bill Compton, Lilith, also known as the progenitor, was the progenitor of the vampire race on the HBO original series, True Blood. So when I say Lilith was a vampire, like this is like they've put it in our faces for a while now.
Yeah, I be tripping off of that.
I don't know if the family ever seen True Blood, but I think it's definitely
Nah.
worth taking a glance at.
Yeah, it seems like every year they keep coming up with all these different vampire movies. They just keep putting a twist on the same thing, and I'll be like, why they so infatuated with it? But you breaking it down.
Right. Now, Lilith,
mummies,
Yeah,
vampires, mummies, and stuff like that.
blood sacrifices.
I think they got a vampire Bible. I'm not.
Even in the New Testament, Jesus puts his blood together with everybody, with all of his disciples, and make them drink from the cup. Yeah, that's
Right,
like a
blood
vampire
ritual.
ritual. And then every Sunday, they eat of his flesh and drink of his blood, which is
Catholic.
what
Yeah,
another vampire ritual.
yeah. The Catholic, the Catholic do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christians do too.
yeah.
Yeah,
communion.
Communion. Yeah.
Yep. Communion. Wow, that's deep. Yeah. And
So
then
in
if
this
you go back
picture-
and you study
Mars right now.
yeah, if you study Ghana, when the Ashanti tribe got together, they all put their blood and I want to say fingernails and stuff like that together and drunk off from the cup.
With the fingernails.
When they first started,
Oh, yeah.
when they first established Kumasi, the city of Kumasi.
They
And
put
they
their fingernails in there too?
That's what it says.
Man,
Now I might be tripping, but I swear that's what I remember.
let that one pass. No, I'm just saying if they did that, but
Yeah, you'd have passed the cup.
Hey,
you had to bite
But
your
they just
nails.
basically, I guess, I forgot what fight they did, who they was fighting against to establish that land.
Mm-hmm.
But once they established the kingdom of Ashanti, they all had to drink from the cup too.
Drink from the cup of word. Man,
Yes.
we in here zoning, man. That's it.
Yes.
yeah.
Could we have another cup, my brother? Cooking right now.
That's right.
My biggity black brother. Black cups. Black understanding. Listen to black knowledge. Black newspapers. Black writing. Biggity back.
Mm.
I'm just joking. Go ahead.
So this is a scene from True Blood where Lilith stands over Bill Compton on his knees, and you can see where she's totally naked because Lilith loves to be naked. And
Makes a lot of
she's
sense.
not wearing a thong. That's vagina hair.
Oh, vagina hair. Oh, it go around her whole waist.
No. That's
Oh,
just
that's it. She's
it's
special.
really poking out, but it's a lot because if you look directly under her
Right.
at the artwork, that's Lilith, and she's totally naked, and you see a lot of vagina hair. You're gonna anytime you see a lot of vagina hair, you dealing with
Cuneiform
Uh-oh.
hub. Yeah, hub. No, go
So
ahead.
that means ladies shave.
No, now, go ahead. What you said? You said when you're dealing with a lot of vagina hair. You, what does that mean?
yeah, that's that Lilith energy.
Oh, so when they don't shave their bush, you saying they tapping in?
We got a girl at the club
All
named
the way.
Evelyn, and she don't shave it at all. And
think I saw
dudes
her.
still get dances with her.
Mm.
Weird. I don't know how she do it.
How those dudes do it.
Speaking of Flatbush,
Flatbush.
Brooklyn.
They call it.
Stand up.
No, they call it a fur burger.
Fur burger, yeah.
Oh,
A furry burger.
Yo.
all right. Where we at now?
Yeah, so Nathan Robert Brown wrote a book called The Mythology of Supernatural, the signs and symbols behind the popular TV shows.
Mm.
So I don't want to be like, oh, well, Crumb just over there and he's doing drugs and he's zoning out and making these things up. Like, nah, they wrote a book about how these shows will have this deeper whatever. It's not just entertainment. So, that's just a confirmation. But let's continue on with Lilith and pop culture. Prince. Because remember, Lilith is Ishtar.
Mhm.
Prince did an album called 2010. It was a tribute album cover to the goddess Ishtar, aka Lilith.
Mm.
Now, the sacred colors of the goddess Ishtar are known as the Queen of Heaven. This is important. I'll come back to it. And actually, Queen of Heaven is in the Bible, talking about Ishtar or Lilith. You're going to see that in Jeremiah 7:18, and it says Queen of Heaven there. But anyway, Ishtar or Lilith, her colors are green, purple, and teal. And you can see on the album cover, he's wearing a shirt that has green, purple, and teal. This is a tribute to Lilith or Ishtar. Flowers are also offered to Ishtar or Lilith, and you're going to see flowers by his hand right here where I'm hovering over. The color alchemy of both planets, the planets Jupiter and Venus, because these are the planets of Ishtar. This is very important. The planet Jupiter is the planet of Ishtar or the planet of Lilith, and Venus is the planet of Ishtar or the planet of Lilith. And this is the symbol for Jupiter, and that's the symbol for Venus. Anyway, the color alchemy of both planets colorizes Prince's album, because Jupiter is red, and you're going to have the red, and Jupiter is orange, so you're going to have the orange, and Venus is red and pink, so you're going to have those colors with that. And this is all by design. Prince wasn't on no fluke stuff. He was all wise, right, and exact with the stuff he was doing. He was tapping in on on a whole deeper level. But let me just finish these last two. 7 stars are related to the Pleiades where Ishtar was placed. There's 7 stars on Prince's album. It's not a game, family. Last but not least, the symbol is a play on 2010, the Prince's symbol, but really a homage to Ishtar. So you're going to see right here, this is the symbol of this album. And there's an arch and it goes down and it goes over. And then you see that line going down. That's the symbol of Jupiter. And then you see the circle. This is like an ankh or the female sign with the line. That right there, that's Jupiter and Venus. This is all wise, right, and exact, man.
Oh. Wow. And it looks like the numbers symbol. The Prince was on another level, yo.
Yeah.
Gemini, yo. There's a Gemini.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shout out to the Geminis.
Yeah. Prince didn't take no ish either. Prince went kind of hard. I think Michael Jackson was convinced that Prince tried to run him over with a car.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can believe that. I can see that. I can see Prince doing that to Mike. For real.
Man.
That was funny.
They should have collaborated more, though.
I don't think they collaborated once.
No, they did not.
He wasn't trying to hear that.
Weren't they on stage live?
Yeah, Prince was high that day.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
They was together, I think, for Heal the World.
Huh?
Heal the World song. Remember that one?
Oh, they
Yeah,
were together for that, huh?
That's
Heal
what
the
I'm
World.
saying. Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure.
That's what Quincy did that funny. Prince was like, give me my lollipop back.
Dude,
He tried to get, you got to see that clip, man. That's crazy. Yeah. Prince was a little bit more mean, you know what I mean? Really kept it real. Not, you know what I mean?
That's crazy, though, yo. That's...
Hey, Crumb could do a whole episode on Michael Jackson alone, I'm sure.
It's fine.
Oh, man.
I already know what you could do, but we'll save that for another episode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We'll do,
man, Prince.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like around their birthdays or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll be nice.
We'll do a Prince episode and then a Michael Jackson.
Yeah, don't forget Rick James.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
We listen to a little Stone. I can see him getting in the car. What kind of car was he trying to hit Mike with? Probably had glitter on it. Right?
That's funny.
It got to be a purple. Boo!
Right.
Nah, let me stop. We love both of them artists.
Yeah.
Greatest. All right.
Absolutely. Okay. So the goddess Ishtar and the Jupiter connection, because we were just talking about Jupiter, I want to expound on Jupiter a little bit more to connect with Ishtar, aka Lilith. So you're going to see to the far left the Sumerian Ishtar headdress of planet Jupiter. This is an official reenactment. Actually, I wanted to ask the Podcraft, has anybody seen the movie Jupiter Ascending? Now, those two boys, those brothers that stole that movie from Sophia Stewart, the Terminator and Matrix, they were the ones that made Jupiter Ascending.
We're going to do a movie night.
Wonder who they stole that from.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Also, Beyonce wears her Sumerian flower headdress for her tribute to Ishtar and the Jupiter connection. So when you're dealing with Jupiter, this is very important, family.
Mm-hmm.
This is according to coolcosmos.edu. This is our educational website. It reads, the Great Red Spot is a giant spinning storm in Jupiter's atmosphere. It's like a hurricane on Earth, but it is much larger. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is more than twice the size of Earth. Winds inside the storm reach speeds of about 270 miles per hour. And basically, it's a hurricane. They call it a storm, but it's a hurricane. And we know the hurricanes have an eye. There's an eye of the storm. And Jupiter has an eye. I don't know if anybody's ever put it in those simple terms, but when you're dealing with Jupiter, that whole one eye thing, it's going to be with Jupiter as well.
That's hard.
Remember, Odin,
That's fire. Jupiter
father of Zeus, had one eye. Who else had one eye?
Cyclops,
Yeah.
Odin, Ra.
Ra.
But Hannibal, Nimrod, Sargon. I digress. So yes, with that said, now you're going to see back to the book of Lilith. Lilith can be traced because this is a storm. The only reason it's making an eye, the only reason I say it's an eye, because it's a storm on Jupiter. This is very important. Lilith can be traced back to the mythology of the Babylonians and Sumerians, where she appears most recognizably as the Ardat Lily, a maiden ghost that preys upon men in their sleep. Supposedly, this being died without first tasting the pleasure of sex, and henceforth she yearns for what she could not have. An amorous embrace were considered fatal. However, her amorous embraces were considered fatal. However, and so this night-dwelling being was greatly feared. Although the Aradat Lily was often thought to haunt the night, Lilith's connection to night was most likely established by the similarity of her name with that of the Hebrew word for night. I said it up here, and I'm gonna say it again. I can't remember where I said it at, but nonetheless, we're going to see this theme of night continue on. But yeah, with that said, Lilith's name did not originate in Hebrew, however, and so this connection is somewhat misleading. Her name is more properly derived from the Sumerian word Lil, meaning storm in this respect.
Lil Wayne. No. It was right there, Lord. I had to take that one. Woo!
Look at Storm. Storm is top. When's the last time you seen Storm topless? But remember, Lilith loves to be naked. And they can't show you her vagina hair, but I'm telling you, she probably the curtains match the carpet, if you know what I mean. I'm sure. But yeah, so this is the source material, succubus.net wiki, Lilith, storm demon. It reads, for other uses of the name Lilith, see disambiguous, Hebrew, a female Mesopotamian storm demon. I told you Lilith's a demon, associated because she's from Africa in the city of On, associated with wind, and was thought to be a bearer of disease, illness, and death. The figure of Lilith first appeared in a class of wind and storm demons. In Mesopotamian mythology, Lilith's origin, the origin of Lilith seems to be in Aradat Lilitu and Lili, two female demon Mesopotamians, related in turn to the evil spirit Lilu. In the name of this family of the word Lil devils, meaning wind, air, because this is storm, and of course, spirit. Go back and watch X-Men, read the comic X-Men versus Dracula. Mutants versus Monsters. And it reads, I'm not going far. That stake is no defense, child, because we're dealing with children when we're dealing with Lilith. With my mutant elemental powers, I can summon a wind to batter you senseless. There is no escape. Aurora, fight him. You told me you were a goddess. She said she's a goddess. Consecrated to life. Prove it. Reach within you, to your heart and soul. Fight him. But that's the comic that I was kind of trying to be theatrical. But yeah, according to marvunap.com, according to Marv Vunap, Lilith, daughter of Dracula. Lilith, daughter of Dracula. When I told you she's a vampire, this is all wise, right, and exact. Going so far as to shoot Storm in the shoulder with an arrow, Lilith/Kitty obtained the book herself. Lilith and Colossus then confronted Dracula in his manor off the coast of Cornwall, where the X-Men had arrived to fight him as well. She began reading the formula, which would have killed Dracula, but cost ... In that episode where you see Dracula and Storm, if you look closely, Dracula has blood all over his mouth. Storm has blood all over her neck going down her abdomen. And Dracula is touching her torso. And they're both looking at us. Go back and watch the movie, as you were saying earlier, Queen of the Damned.
Damn.
Aaliyah, she played the character Akasha. This is based off the Akashic records. I'm not done with her. I'm gonna come back to her, but I want to go into how Lilith is the reptilian. There was a duality between Eve and Lilith in the Garden of Eden. And in that duality, because Lilith knows ish. She doesn't come from Adam's rib. She's on a different operation system. She's like she's a smartphone. Eve is a flip phone. Eve is not built like that. So now Lilith is depicted as a serpent. According to these particular pictures that I'm showing you, she's a female serpent. But I digress. So you're going to see more depictions of this female serpent, not a male serpent. The serpent is a female. And this isn't my opinion. You can see different illustrations. This is the poor man's Bible, where they would do it in the stained windows, because back in the day, the commoners couldn't read. So they had to tell the stories through pictures. That's where the stained glass windows and stuff like that.
What did you say? On the stained glass.
Even in Egypt. So now you're going to have this girl. She's always in a tree. You see her, she's always in a tree. Even in Egypt, the girl's in a tree and she's feeding her. And she's also feeding the serpent. You're going to see the serpent at the bottom of the tree, and she's going to feed that bird. That bird is an owl. A screech owl, to be exact. And that's what you're seeing here. You don't see you see the serpent, but you're not going to see this this bird until later. I'm going to show you the bird. But even in this particular picture, you're going to see the serpent with wings as well, from her Tiamat Draco bloodline, because this is what the Jewish Encyclopedia confirms. I digress. So let's continue on. Lilith in Hebrew, you were saying, okay, I'm sorry, screech owl. One and only mention of Lilith in the Bible is according to Isaiah 34:14, reading, Wildcats shall meet the desert beasts, satyrs shall call to one another. There shall the Lilith repose and find for herself a place to rest. That's according to the NAB. But Grandma don't read nothing but a King James version, but I'm getting jazzy if you ask her, so bear with me. But
wow.
Here's another version of Isaiah 34:14. The wild beast, it says, the screech owl will settle there. The screech owl, that's Lilith. So it says, the Hebrew term Lilith or Lilith, translated as night creature. There's this night creature again. It's a night monster, a night hag, or a screech owl. That's right, folks. First occurs in Isaiah 34:14. Amen.
That's fire. Wow. It sounds
pulled
like
up
an
these-
80s song. The night owl, the night monster. I digress.
Here's a picture of Lilith with a screech owl on her back and a serpent to her front. And she got those horns like her great, 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 great grandmama, Tiamat, the dragon queen. And if you look here under Ishtar, because Ishtar is Lilith, I didn't type this up. This is a real book by E.R. Werner Corvus Nacortum. I'm sorry, forwarding. Yeah, I guess that's the pen name. Forwarded by Michael W. Ford. But anyway, you can see the screech owl. And this right has two cats, but we'll get into that later. I digress. You guys were talking about Delilah, and I'm not gonna lie, I was very impressed because I thought I was the only person who knew this. So when you said it kind of took some air out of my some steam out of my sail. Dag nabbit, they knew it already.
We used to be talking, man.
Yeah, man.
You talking about Moses?
Delilah.
Yeah, Delilah.
Yeah.
Moses, the Ten Commandments movie.
Samson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, you talking about with Samson?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Shawan.
So question.
Hey,
What is the meaning-
Sam's son, right? The son?
Come on. Of Lila.
What's the Sam part?
Lila is a common Indian female given name meaning beauty. Laivati is a variant of this name that is also the title of the 12th century mathematics treatise. Lila is also a variant of the female name given name Lila, derived from the Semitic word for night. There we go with night. This is Lila,
Right.
Delilah. I'm about to connect the dots. Next question. Question. What is the Bible meaning of the name Lila? Answer, according to oldbabynames.com, in an article titled Lila, Baby Girl Name, Meaning and Origin. And it reads, the name Lila is a simplified spelling of Lila, a name of Arabic origin meaning night. On another note, Lila is sometimes considered a pet form of the Hebrew name Delilah. I was hoping that was going to be one of my knockout blows, but you guys already. But nonetheless, yeah.
You still knocked us out with that one. Wow, you caught us on the left and right with that one.
Oh, got him.
That was fire.
Wow.
Wow.
But yeah, Delilah was Samson's mistress in the Bible, which means one who weakened or impoverished another. This is according to oldbabynames.com. This isn't Christian Bible Thumpers, grandmadem.com. Yeah, so thinkbabynames.com poses an answer to the question, what is the meaning of the name Lila? Lila is the name of the girl for girls of Hebrew, Arabic, and English derivation. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. And Lila means languish, lovelorn, seductive, night, beauty. There it is again. Lila is a variant form of Delilah, Hebrew. Lila is also a variant of Lila, Arabic. Lila is also used as a form of Lila, Arabic, Lila, English. But yeah, Delilah is Lilith. This is that same energy. These feeling loyal. My bad. Lilith in Sumer. Lilith first appears in the Sumerian Anana myths 2000 BCE in the story of the Hulupu tree. Anana and Ishtar are both called Divine Lady of the Owl. And Lilith is associated with the screech owl. This is the owl again, the screech owl. Gilgamesh struck the serpent who could not be charmed. This is that serpent you're always going to see. The Anuzu bird flew with its young to the mountains. Now, in this one, it's saying Anuzu bird, but this is, I guess, the Sumerian name for an owl. And Lilith smashed her home and flew to the wild, uninhabited places. That's from what we read in the Bible. And again, we're going to see Lilith right here in this particular picture. And again, she's naked. That's not panties she's wearing. That's vagina hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she's butt bald naked in this particular picture. And you can even see the wavy parts because she has bird feet. And you can see her wings and her funny type of hair, whatever she got. But I digress. So Gilgamesh and the Hulupu tree. This is the source material that I'm going to read from real quick. So once upon a time, there was a Hulupu tree. And to the right, you're going to see the picture. It says Anana and the Hulupu tree. And they kind of bending it over. Perhaps it was a willow, the way it was bent over. Because you're going to see this girl with the screech owl. I don't see any serpents in this picture, but I don't know if that's that Lilith energy. I digress. It was planted on the banks of the Euphrates. This is the Hulupu tree. It was nurtured by the waters of the Euphrates, but the south wind tore at it, root and crown, while the Euphrates flooded it with waters. So you can see this picture of the Euphrates. So now Anana, queen of heaven, walking by, took the tree in her hand and brought it to Eric, the seat of her main sanctuary, and planted it in her holy garden. This is like the Garden of Eden type of thing. And you're going to see this picture here. Anana Ishtar, queen of heaven. When you see queen of heaven, this is that same Jupiter energy from Jupiter ascending, queen of the damned, so on and so forth. This dark girl energy, but it's the whore of Babylon, whore being short for holy. Remember, she don't have no baby daddy. She's unaccounted for. We don't know who the father of her child is. She's the whore of Babylon. However, whore coming from Horus or holy. She's not. She's bad, but in the spirit of hip hop, not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
Michael Jackson bad.
There, she tended it most carefully. For when the tree grew big, she planned to use it for wood to make herself a couch. Years passed, the tree matured and grew big, but Anana found herself unable to cut down the tree. And this is a picture of how the people of Anana look. Of course, look at her. She's butt, bald, naked, bucket naked.
Like she had a BBL.
And ass so fat, you can see it from. What song was that? Ass so fat, you can see it from the front. Who said that?
That's Most
Def.
Yeah,
Most Def.
Okay.
No, they don't get it.
Come on. That's all wise, right, and exact.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Nana.
Also, right. And she's holding her breast and she's bucking. That's not that's not panties. That's coochie hair. It's coochie hair. That's not panties. That's coochie hair.
Yeah.
Bucket and she's naked. Bucket naked. And she got a fatty.
Yeah.
But
See it
anyway.
from the front, right?
Yeah. For at its base, the snake, who knew no charm, had built its nest. In its crown, the zoo bird, a mythological creature which at times wrought mischief, had placed its young. In the middle, Lilith, the maid of desolation, had built her house. This is all in the tree that Inanna wanted. And so poor Inanna, the light-hearted and ever-joyful maid, shed bitter tears.
What was
and
that?
she was, I'm sorry?
I don't mean, what, that statue, what was that from? The girls from, I'm sorry to bring it back. I'm trying to book me a flight there. I was like, yo, all right.
Yeah.
Right. And so
that?
poor Inanna, the light heart. Oh, I'm sorry. And as the dawn broke and her brother, the sun god Utu, arose from his sleeping chamber, she repeated to him tearfully all that had befallen her Halupu tree. Now, Gilgamesh, the great Sumerian hero, the forerunner of the Greek Heracles, or who you may know as Hercules, who lived in Erech, overheard Inanna's weeping complaint and chivalrously came to her rescue. He donned his armor weighing 50 minus, about 50 pounds, and with an axe of the road, 7 talons and 7 minus in weight, over 400 pounds, he slew the snake who knows no charm at the base of the tree. Seeing which, the zoo bird fled with his young to the mountain, and Lilith tore down her house and fled to the desolate place which she was accustomed to haunt. The man of Erech, who had accompanied Gilgamesh, now cut down the tree and presented it to Inanna for her chair and couch. Happily ever after. That's the Epic of Gilgamesh, in which Lilith is inside that tree. And when she flees to the desert, that's the part that's going to be in the Bible where she's in the wilderness, so to speak, the wild.
Crazy.
Bad girls of the ancient world. Of the same lineage, this trio of goddesses of fertility, love, and sex and war, though not motherhood. Some say they were love goddesses who were as cruel as they were wayward. All carry the shamanic theme of a descendant to the underworld. Inanna, who you see, bucket naked, as Tare of Canaan, also with her titties out, lactating, or maybe she got a shirt that got holes in it for when she lactate.
So this ain't no joints was dripping.
Right. And Ishtar of Babylon, also bucket naked. So yeah, Lilith and Solomon. I was surprised I was going to get here so fast, but I'm happy I did because we still got
Well, you
a
think
couple
about
more
it,
slides.
a lot of the women in Africa, period, you know what I'm saying? But you go back in those days, they all walked around naked. So you
Right.
descendants, you saying that the black women are descendants of vampire naked women?
Well, that God, remember, a woman will drain a man like sexually and
Financially?
That's
Yeah,
funny.
you ain't lying.
I don't know how to put that
But-
in there.
It's called La Petite Mort, a little death, where
They drain
you know it'll drain you. vampirically, an energy vampire.
Mm.
And I think Lil Wayne said something about after he gets drained of that testosterone, now his brain can think clearly, and that's called post-nut clarity.
Yeah. That's right. In the
crazy,
song
man.
Love Me, he says, right as soon as I come to my senses.
Yeah.
And I would not
That's
be so
real
bad.
though, Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's
Good cushion
that is
alcohol.
so real, man. That'll show you if you really like a woman or not. How you treat her after you nut.
Lilith and Solomon. King Solomon, the son of David, was the builder of the first temple in Jerusalem. He was believed to be blessed with divine wisdom and could speak the language of both animals and spirits. That's in Islam considered the work of jinn. But anyway, one of God's angels granted King Solomon the knowledge to create 44 seals. Shout out to Jay-Z, which were used by the monarch in magical rituals that evoked the spirits in order to achieve both benevolent and just goals for humanity. I believe Jay-Z has like a building or something, a Jay-Z museum, and it's set up like Solomon's temple. The above seal represents the seventh seal and acts as a protective amulet against danger and evil. Its particular pinnacle design is associated with Mars, thus protecting the wearer during travel and military service. Its center contains two of the sacred names of God, as well as a Kabbalistic combination of letters and other sacred invocations. So this is what King Solomon used to build Solomon's temple. And this thing helped him control the demons. But that was the same thing we read earlier about Lilith. It says, she takes revenge for her children by injuring baby boys during the first night of their life, while baby girls are exposed to their wicked designs until they are 20 days old. The only way to ward off the evil is to attach an amulet bearing the names of the three angel captors to the children, for which had been the agreement between them. And these are the three names of those angels that God sent to go get Lilith. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if these are angels or demons. I can't say, because it's crazy that the 44 demons that King Solomon had dominion over with this seal were used for something good, but he was using dark forces. I don't know how to feel about that. So now King Solomon has this ring, one ring to rule them all the demons. Where have I heard that before?
Oh, yeah, the motor ring.
So King Solomon has this ring, and when he puts the ring on, he taps in and he can control dark forces.
Tap in.
Where have I heard that before? Okay. Come on, somebody.
And they be knowing, man. They be knowing.
And do you know who the Lord of the Rings is?
Who?
Saturn.
T.
And you know who Saturn is? Satan.
Come on.
Lord of the Rings. And what do you do when you get married? Well, I don't want to go ahead of him.
No, stop.
That might be
going.
that might
on
be
a roll right now.
CrumbTV probably already gonna go there. I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to mess up this film.
No.
You do your thing. I just wanted to mention the Saturn connection.
That's all wise, right, and exact.
So basically, I see where you're going, Lord. I see where you're going.
And it's interesting he said that, because I've heard that Saturn's ring was a ring of bondage. And when you get married, they do put a ring on you, and now you're bound to that person. So that whole ring thing is interesting. I don't know. But yeah, when you dealing with these demons that Solomon is controlling to build the first Solomon's temple. One of the demons' name is Abzu. Remember when I had pulled up that stuff earlier inside the Bible dictionary, and it said Tiamat. This is the Jewish encyclopedia. Excuse me. It said Tiamat is Leviathan. In parentheses for Tiamat, you have Abzu, and it says the taker of children. It's the same thing with Lilith. She's taking babies because they killed her babies, and now we got to get them out of here. Like Bernie Mac said, "F them children." Okay,
he said like Bernie Mac said. Me and my cousin. That's crazy.
Yeah, I better tap all. Yeah,
Tapping
Bernie Mac funnies. I don't know what. So yeah, the demon Abzu was included in the Testament of Solomon as one of the demons over which Solomon is granted power by God. So when we're dealing with a demon, these are the city of On. When we're dealing with Solomon, because he's getting this knowledge.
Hey.
Rastaman.
It's crazy how that worked, right?
Come on, somebody. Come on. That's right.
Yeah.
In later years, Lilith became central to Jewish demonology. In the Talmudic Erubim, it is said that while Adam, in the Talmudic Erubim, it is said that while Adam was under the curse before the birth of Seth, he sired demons, both Shadim and Lilin. Lilin is plural of Lilith. God gave Solomon guardian angels because demons are guardian angels. So Solomon had these guardian angels, which he used to build the Temple of Solomon.
All right. Strange just says, can we circle back to why most of this info isn't in the New Testament and considered apocryphal? Was this info withheld for a nefarious reason? You want to address that, Crumb?
Yeah. It's not secret. It's sacred. So a lot of this information they didn't have access to.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Man, I see you've been training.
But yeah, they had to go through a lot to even get access to information. Most people back then couldn't read. They just got the Gutenberg press, so you just get books that don't have to be written by hand. 99% of all of those books are all in the monasteries. That's why the first schools were the churches. That's why even now, like remember Bernie Mac, it was F them kids. Yeah, that was like kind of a joke. But the Bernie Mac show, Bernie Mac, because those were his sister kids. Bernie Mac nieces and nephews, they went to Catholic school, private school. And most of your private schools are church-based. They're Catholic schools, whatever. But all the good schools started from the church because that's where they started letting information flow from. Because back then, the church was like an authority figure, even here in this country until separation of church and state. But the Pope can wage war and all types of jazz.
Great answer.
But I hope I answered that.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
You body slammed that one.
Here, let me do the immediate one.
Knocking him down.
Jarrett JB says, Crumb, peace, fire topic, respect. Have you ever heard of Robert Seffer, world's most dangerous anthropologist? 80 sent you the link on Messenger. Okay. Have you heard of him?
No, sir. But I do feel like now I am obligated to go look.
Nice.
Indeed.
He sent me the link in Messenger, so I will forward that. Patrick Chewing says CrumbTV.
Ah!
Hey.
Gratitude.
Hey.
David Flores Animation says salute to the Podcraft and preach, brother Crumb.
Oh, brother
Shout
David,
out to Dave Flores.
Little Da Vinci.
Yeah.
Yo, that's his
son.
But Lil Da Vinci and Crumb go way back.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's an ill connection, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So you knew Dave Flores for a long time, huh?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
And
So, it's crazy. Look at the
when I
connection.
came there and I walked in and then he came in behind me, it was just like we was just in New Jersey. Now we in LA with Killah Priest. And I'm like, this is, it was all adding up, but it was just like, oh wow, you're out here? He was like, yeah, because I thought he was in Jersey while you and him are in connection. I didn't realize that he was out there with you. But
Crazy.
yeah.
It's the same network.
Like Kyle Zodiac.
I was going through. Well, I had skipped them all. I had left off with
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, and the Lord of the Rings is literally King Solomon, and one of the demons, guardian angels that he uses to do his bidding is Abzu, taker of children, because that's the spirit of Lilith. She takes children because she's getting revenge for her children. And you're going to see, let me skip to the next part. Sorry. Psalms 34:14 in the top right-hand corner. It's in very small text. Bear with me. It says, wherever man hungers for flesh, there too Lilith shall repose. Whenever a man hunger for flesh, and I love this picture where the apple is like a vagina. So when he lusts for a woman, Lilith will be there because she has that sexual energy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another girl in the situation. You also see she's a reptilian. She got a lot of hair like Medusa, very much draconian in her phenotype. I'm not even going to say her name. I'm just going to keep it moving. But yeah, and then there's this other girl, and these are all the demons that your boy controls. There's this other girl, and she is some type of she reminds me of the bad guy, the antagonist from the movie Little Mermaid. What was the bad guy's name? And it was a girl, not a guy.
Ursula.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's all wise, right? Exact.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah. So this particular spirit, demon, guardian angel that old boy was using reminds me of Ursula from Little Mermaid. But these Leviathan, reptilian, underwater, whatevers is, what they were going against from the gate with the Leviathan. But anyway, so yeah, in the list, you see the right one. Medusa is in the list. I didn't make this list up. These are just the list of some of the demons that Solomon used. And I believe apparently all of these demons were female. Solomon had many wives. Solomon had many wives, on the spirit realm as well, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, looking at Medusa.
That we're sharing that. Let's go.
DailyOm.com has an article titled Sovereign Female Wisdom. And in the blurb, it reads, underlined in red, Medusa, her name means sovereign female wisdom in Sanskrit. This is according to Daily OM. Next source is feminismandreligion.com with an article titled Medusa and Athena, ancient allies in healing women's trauma. And they write, the name Medusa means, that's right, sovereign female wisdom. Last but not least is the guardian of darkness.com, who third time repeats it. Medusa means sovereign female wisdom. So the
Can I say one thing?
Please.
Medusa sounds like Medu.
ooh,
Throw that in there. Where's her netures at?
and I did not let Killah Priest know this before. So the stuff that he's saying,
Off
again,
top.
he's bursting my bubble. I was going to say that, but there it is.
Wow.
So
I also see USA in there.
sorry.
I need some.
You know, that's super dope. He's definitely ahead of the game.
Me with this.
Right.
Man.
Uptown.
Medusa was the guardian of the unborn. She was able to transform to a mermaid and also grow wings. She led a matriarchal island where she protected kids. This is what Lilith is doing because they killed her babies. They unalived her babies, excuse me. But yeah, you're going to see where Medusa was once a beautiful psychic oracle. And this is equivalent to Mami Wata, or the Sibyls, the first prophetess of Mami Wata. And
Wow.
that was the theft of African prophecy by the Catholic Church.
You just dropped it.
So last but not least, I just got a couple more. So this whole thing where you see Medusa being able to transform into a mermaid, and you know she's a sister. That's the same thing of what the Dogon told you. The Dogon told you that their Anunnaki alien encounter story from the ancestors was with beings that look like this, these mermaid type beings. And you're going to see through the Mami Wata, the mermaid type being turns into a black woman. And again, bucket naked. She likes to be naked. And this later morphs into the Starbucks logo. I'm gonna drink to that. I got some coffee in it.
There it
doubt.
is.
No doubt. Make sure y'all get y'all coffee, your cold brew, or your tea, or whatever y'all drinking tonight. You know what I'm saying? And sit back, relax, man. If you're at home in front of, and hit the like and the subscribe all day long. We up here with CrumbTV, Kepera, Solo Gems, AD. Another level, right? This is right.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
right.
wow.
That's right.
Yeah, this is.
There's a
Man,
lot
you
of
open up these doors.
Yeah, there's a lot to absorb, man. But I'm getting it, catching the vibe, and catching the energy.
Now, you'll definitely learn a lot just reading those comic books.
Mm-hmm.
So that comic book that I read at the very beginning of the PowerPoint, she was a siren. And a siren, if you look at that second definition, it says Greek mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Each of a number of women or winged creatures whose singing lured unwary sailors onto rocks. But if you focus on the red underline, synonymously, a seductress, temptress, a tease, or a femme fatale. This is a dangerous woman. And this one right here, this is a screenshot. I didn't type that. It says Siren of the Air, Lilith. And She does have the ability, and this other Lilith is also purple again. This is the lilac, but nonetheless, so when you're looking at Lilith, there's definitely a connection with the Mami Wata. And remember, Lilith is a Gorgon. Lilith is a Gorgon. The key word, on. The Gorgon, because it was three sisters, the triple moon goddess. And this is what you're going to see with Medusa and her sisters. They were all once beautiful. Now and now I think because of some vanity something, I can't tell you the whole story, but all of them lost their eyes and they all share one eye. Like all three sisters take turns.
Damn, they all share one. Oh man, go ahead.
Right.
Oh,
Remember, Jupiter has a storm, and there's an eye. Jupiter has this one eye. Odin has one eye. Ra, Horus, Heru has one eye. I digress.
And like Jupiter, AD, it's the Jupiter. No, it's Judah and Peter, right?
Now, when you're dealing with Jupiter, Jew means God. Peter means father, the Godfather. That's all wise, right, and exact.
Oh, praises.
And Jesus's right-hand man, who he built his church upon, was who?
Peter.
Peter, the Godfather. He said, I'm going to build my church upon you. Peter means rock. Peter means stone. And if you go back to Jupiter.
A rock.
Correct. And if you go back to Jupiter, when you're dealing with Jupiter, this is the God stone. So Jupiter, his daddy eat babies, his own kids. And his mama was just tired of it. So, because Jupiter is Zeus. So instead of giving his daddy Kronos or Saturn, instead of giving Saturn Zeus, he gave Saturn a stone wrapped like it was a baby, and that's the God stone. Remember, Peter means stone, and Jupiter is the Godfather or the God stone, and this is why Zeus gave his father the God stone. Jupiter, that's right.
We have another question for you. It's coming from Stringer. Is it?
Is the Quran not the final testament? Didn't he cleanse the Kaaba of the pagan deities for the God of Ibrahim?
Yeah.
Ibrahim.
Yeah, and just like KP is saying, if you believe in the Abrahamic religion, then yeah, according to that story, absolutely.
But there's another verse.
Uh-oh, come on.
Another verse.
Yeah, I know, right?
Priest was waiting for me to say something else.
That was like
that was it.
We all
It's just there's another verse.
Yeah, it just got deep, right? It was like,
it's really tough.
yo, because sometimes stuff come out.
Yeah.
Behold, it's 7,
Yeah.
and the 8th cometh soon. We might say some stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm still.
So this was one of those knockout
we
punches.
We like a little. All of us on here. We see Cold Bruiser. We on super.
Right.
Super.
This is one of the ones that, this is a heavy hitter. I usually catch him off guard with this one. And as usual, KP beat me to the punch. He already knew it. And he said it, which is all wise, right, and exact. When you're dealing with Medusa, The root word is Medu. And this is my a screenshot from my original Facebook page. I had 15,000 subscribers or followers or something like that. But anyway, that page got deleted. Hate speech, but listen, I call it truth speech, or maybe it was. I don't know. Anyway, so on that page, I had wrote, I can't help but notice the similarity in the name Medusa and medulla oblongata. They say this is where your hair starts growing from, or what starts the hair growing.
Ooh.
And yeah,
Give him a real bomb, AD.
Let him keep going. Let him keep going. Medulla.
That's it. That one.
correct. Now, what you're seeing here beside that screenshot that I took, well, actually directly under that, I put Medusa, and then I put the recycled sign and Medu Netter. This is the same root word. Medusa, Medu Netter, medulla oblongata. And after my screenshot, you're going to see the next picture is the anatomy of a hair follicle. So the innermost cortex of the hair follicle is called the medulla. The innermost portion of a hair follicle is the medulla. This is the foundation of a hair follicle. And I found that to be just interesting, from Medusa to medulla. Very, very interesting. But I digress. Salute to KP. He's on it. Lilith and Holiday. The answers are above, but Bartman Dictionary of Etymology offers a bit more. Old English had a concurrent open compound, halig deig, found in later Middle English, holy day, which becomes modern day English holiday. So when we say holiday, what we're saying is holy day. So the holidays are synonymous with something religious by way of its name. So now Friday is a holy day. Friday is the day of Frigga, and Frigga is the Norse Lilith. I'm gonna prove this now, because remember I told you that whole Jupiter with one eye, Thor's daddy Odin has one eye. This is all Norse tradition. So now if you go and look at Frigga, Frigga rode on a chariot that was drawn by two cats. Why is this important? Because when you go look at those pictures of Ishtar, Ishtar is standing on two cats. What are you talking about? You can't, the math is mathing. What you're looking at, it's adding up. It's all adding up. Anybody know how much all is? I'm being
Everything. Yeah.
right. It's all adding up. But if you go look at these other pictures, because go back and look at Frigga. Frigga got them two cats. Go back and look at Ishtar or Lilith. Lilith always got these two cats.
Yeah.
Here's another picture of Lilith with that funny hair or the horns or whatever the case may be, those wings. And in this one, she got clothes on, but you can see a lot of leg because she likes to be bucket naked. And she's standing on a cat looking like Frigga of Norse tradition. But yeah, Ishtar, Frigga, whatever you want to call her, that's really who Easter is named after. And because this whole thing about Jesus being born December 25th, that's Nimrod. Y'all better stop playing. That's the whole Jesus thing. Jesus is born under Ishtar. Jesus is born in the spring. Everything is born in the spring. Jesus ain't born in no daggone December 25th. That's Zeus in the game.
He's technically born 4 times a year, right? He's
Come
born,
on, somebody.
He's born again. So he's born in the beginning of every season. So you're right. He is born for the spring, but he's also, born again when the son dies on the cross.
Right. December 19th, 20 and 20. I'm sorry, December 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And then on December 25th is the rebirth.
Boom.
This is the shortest day of the year, December 22nd, the winter solstice.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of the family. Absolutely. I see y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I did skip a little bit because this thing has 115 slides in totality. But yeah, I think this was a good ending point. I wanted to say, last but not least, I am your humble brother Crumb. I am on YouTube. I'm trying to get that 50K, but at the very least, short. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? I just want to at least try to get to 36,000. So if y'all want to tap all the way in, but you don't got to hit the sub button. The videos are free. I do good work. Some of my best work is including but not limited to they cloned Tyrone, the hitting meaning. That was just 4 months ago. The Shahrazad Ali interview last year. Female orgasm, squirting and ejaculation. I think that was like 7, 12, 11 months ago. I don't know. But yeah, the history of Malachi Z, York, good, bad, and indifferent. So yeah, you can come over there, check me out. I am a master's student, so I do follow the likes of KPAD and the good family in the Podcraft.
All right, no doubt, man. Thank you for that, brother. That was
wild.
Yeah.
Dang.